The tools I use set my mindset, change my mindset, puts me in a mindset. Hey, this is Chris at Art Secret Studio, and we've been talking about pencils and how I sharpen a pencil and what I do and how I use a razor blade when I'm after the gesture drawing and the feeling and the emotion. And there's one thing I want to show you this time, a little more about that, how my attitude changes. And I showed earlier in the previous video, the gesture drawing shows my texture and my mark and where you're going to go and what kind of medium I'm using, what kind of brushes I'm using, how big the canvas is going to be. It gets me in a psychological mood and emotion. And I love doing that. And sometimes I use an extender. And I sharpen it with a one-edged razor blade. But when I go to the F pencil and a more of a refining pencil, I'd like to show you the difference. So I do sharpen it. I do love the Power Me sharpener. And here's the part I want to talk about. It's my attitude. All of a sudden, I slow down. All of a sudden, I'm saying this is important, and I'm slowing down. So when I start shading with this, I'm going to pull up two pretty powerful drawings and show you the difference. And I'm going to contrast one and then show you the drawing immediately after that. If I take powdered charcoal and I'm looking at this cute little girl here, and I'm just going to draw with the powdered charcoal, dipping into the powdered charcoal, and I'm just going to draw off the form, not on the form. Start to put the background in and and just start to play with the drawing here. And this kind of drawing it lends itself to using this powdered charcoal lends itself to this carefree fun thing. Well, the opposite of that is when I no longer hold a pencil like this and hold it between my fingers like this, and I just start shading, and I start to shade very slightly, and I start to put her eye sockets in. Now I'm not using the side of the pencil. The wood never gets dirty. So there's almost a 45-degree angle. If I go down here on the table, it's almost like this angle. And it's maybe, it's the size of pizza that I want. I don't like a large piece and I don't like a small piece. And I definitely don't like half the pizza on a plate. I need it cut up. There's something about the flavor that changes if you cut the pizza. So I'm going here and I'm very slowly starting to work in my actual shapes. And it's an attitude difference. That's the key here. This is about an attitude. So let me show you a couple drawings real quick. So this drawing on the right, there's no drawing. It's just using a pencil. It's cover stock by Reeves, and it's so lightweight. It's like 90 pounds. So if you erase it, it just peels. So I just sort of draw my shapes in as I go, and it's a very slow, deliberate method. I mean, you're just so slightly, you're just spending hours just barely darkening things because you can't mess up. You have to do it correctly. And it's a thought process. It's an attitude. It's a mentality thing. It's, there's times when I start a painting because I work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I'm off the rest of the week. So come Thursday and Friday, that's when I have all this go juice to start painting. And when I start my painting, this is not the kind of painting I'm starting. I'm starting with a giant brush. I'm blocking in the background. Come Saturday, I'm a little slower, I'm a little more deliberate, and I'm taking my time. Now, I messed up the eye, and you have to forgive that. I was showing the class how an 8B Staedtler Mars pencil does a fantastic job giving me the contrast. But in the process, I have this eye going the wrong angle, and I'm going to have to try to fix these without erasing. Good luck on that one. Okay, this drawing was quite different. And I'm just trying to contrast the two ways of holding a pointed pencil in my hand like this, giving me a different attitude, and taking one of these nylon material with 3 cotton balls in it and dipping it into powdered charcoal or powdered graphite. And all I did is take a cream paper. It's a tan paper, and I think it's by Strathmore, and I think it's Pearl. So it's either Strathmore or Métience. I don't know. I could feel the back. It's Métience. It's Canson's medium tone paper. I think they call it Métientes, or that's my pronunciation. You might not be able to find it with my pronunciation, so you might have to Google it. But it's a pastel paper. I use the smooth side only. I think I'm the only one on the planet. Everyone loves the other side. There must be something wrong with me. I just don't like the honeycomb weave. So I take the charcoal and I kind of dip it in it, and I blocked in all the shadow areas with charcoal. That's how you get this in seconds. It just goes in. Then you take your eraser and hit your white eraser, and then all you do is you take the General's white charcoal and you hit the whites. Now, make sure the white never touches the black. Leave gray paper between it, or you get a gray paper. You get a blue-gray color. So I'm not really going into how to do this. I'm just talking about the tools I use set my mindset, change my mindset, puts me in a mindset that is just as important as the image I get, because the brushstroke, the texture, the color, the contrast, the mark, the line I make is your story. It is your message. So before you do anything, think about what you want to do. Play with the different materials, learn how to use them.